Jesus. Oh, God, I need you right now, Jesus. I need you to see this message. Please. Text back. Jesus, I'm texting you. Can you hit me back? I'm going crazy in my mind and I can't handle that. I wanna see you. Lord, I need to see you. Can you calm my mind down with a text back? Cause I need you. Jesus, I'm texting you. Can you hit me back?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. I am kind of in a I was meditating and I have my blue light on and I was uploading my video for today and I realized that I really didn't give you guys all the information I was trying to give you guys. So I decided to get up and redo it, and if my camera looks or feels like it's moving, it's super windy out here, and if only you guys can see my setup right now. So it's against my window and it's moving a little bit. So anyways, first and foremost, I want to say Happy Veterans Day to all the vets and everybody in service and or was in service. Thank you for your services. It's much appreciated. I had a different shirt on, but I changed because this is comfortable. Spiritual Sunday. So I decided on 2 words. Spiritual, and somebody else brought up sensual. Now, sensual, we can take it in so many inappropriate directions, but sensual is really going to be about the oneself and how to make ourselves feel 110% to move forward and be sensual with others. That's all I'm saying. Next Sunday, I'm doing the Sensual Sunday with a special guest, and we're going to give you awesome ideas on how to be with yourself in one moment, just being you, doing you, and making time for yourself. So I'm so excited for that video. And today I decided to choose spiritual for Spiritual Sunday to start it off with that. And I kind of want to go into 3 different directions. Now, when I woke up this morning, if you missed out on the 11/11 meditation this morning that's going all around the world, you still got 11/11 tonight, so I'll see you guys there. But I was meditating this morning, and then once I got up and wanted to start my video, gather all the information, I asked God for his guidance to how I wanted to start my video. And I did grow up in Catholicism. I don't preach it or choose to continue as a Catholic as an adult, but I still have loads of respect for those of you who are religious, and that is your path. It's admirable to the commitment that you guys make to your religion, and I totally, whatever is out there when it comes to religion, spirituality, beliefs, whatever, it's all real to me because somebody made it up, somebody believes in it, somebody is committed and faithful to that, and I respect that. So I did end up going to the Bible because although there's so many different opinions on the Bible, I still believe it's a great textbook to go to. And I really wanted to stick with the word spiritual for the video, and I looked up spirit. It don't have spirituality in the book, so I found spirit. And the one verse that really stuck out to me is 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 11, and it goes, "A woman should learn in quietness and full submission." Now, don't be thinking about 50 Shades of Grey. We're going on a different direction here. And quietness, I'm all for that because I have learned and read a bunch of books about how we should all learn how to be happy with ourselves alone, and then we can move forward and love others fully as soon as we learn how to love ourselves fully alone. So personally, to me, being alone is just being quiet in one space at one time, centered, and just being to yourself, having your alone time, having you time. And of course I did some notes because that's just what I do, and they're not sloppy this time, so winning. I decided to organize my notes a little bit better today because I was all over the place yesterday. And quietness for me is being still, being in the moment, having you time, and just be right there. And submission, I had to Google it because I know we can go into different directions with this word, but I got the action or fact of accepting or yielding to a superior force. And that kind of made me think a little bit, like, where can I take this? Superior force, yielding. And I thought of the word surrender, and it reminded me of the time that I came to a realization of the possibility of never being able to be a mother. Now, all of y'all know that I do have a child now, but in that moment at that time, I had went through 3 miscarriages, and doctors told me you'd probably have to see a specialist to figure out if you can even hold a pregnancy, and if you can, what kind of, like, just doing all these tests and all this, nonsense I didn't want to hear. When I heard that, I was 20, so you can only imagine the kind of emotions I was feeling, because I grew up in a Mexican home, and both of my parents have a lot of siblings, and I grew up believing in my subconscious mind that as a woman, all we're good for is birthing children. And I got into my young adult age and realized that is not true. We're not only here to bear children. We're here to be successful, beautiful, wonderful, motivational women. And when I was in the space that I was in at the time, I kind of surrendered myself to the higher power, to God, and telling him, if mother isn't in the works for me, can you please guide me towards the direction of where I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to do with my life, because I'm still thinking I need to be a mom, and that's the only way I'm going to be able to feel successful in this lifetime. And I swear to you guys, within like 3 months or less, I got pregnant. And I also realized that at that time I was probably at my healthiest physically, so that makes a lot of sense on why at that specific time I got pregnant, because it's really been the most healthiest I've ever been. Even now, I still think that was my healthiest times, but I also think it has to do a lot with just letting go and letting Jesus take the wheel. And whether you believe in Jesus or not, I'm not particularly too knowledged on Jesus, but I do believe in God, and I'm just using the saying Jesus take the wheel because that's just what it was. It was just more like, all right, God, like, my life is in your hands. Whatever you think I am on this earth for, just let me know, and I will fulfill whatever I have to fulfill in this lifetime. And I wouldn't change anything in that moment, although the circumstances are not as how I would have liked them to be, considering my daughter doesn't have her father in her life, and that's another story. But I still wouldn't change it. I had a wonderful pregnancy, although if you watch my video from the other night, I talk about how I was in jail pregnant. And that video's coming up. I know some of you guys are like, I need to know what happened. So you'll get it. I want to dive into spirituality, of course. I said that already. I haven't explored Texas, but in Phoenix, I used to go to the spiritual center called Unity of Phoenix. And shout out to Joe. He's the one that got me into there, and I appreciate it. I love that place so much, and we need a Unity of El Paso because your girl's going to be missing that place. But they upload their previous Sunday services onto YouTube, and I watched last Sunday's service. So the word of the day was happy, being happy. And I have some notes here. I'm not going to give you all the juice because I'm going to need y'all to go watch it because it's an amazing service. Even if you're like Christian or very faithful to a religion, I still think it would benefit you. He talks about happiness being universal. And I said that yesterday. And I know I was struggling with words yesterday, and I figured out the word, it's contribute. We all have to contribute to the happiness going around the universe, right? Like, happiness is universal. We need to contribute to that. What goes around comes around. And we have to fill ourselves with positiveness and let everything else work itself out, or let it go, or whatever you need to do, and really contribute to what's the next minute, what's the next hour, what's the next day, what's the next week, month, year, whatever. He brought up a quote by Abraham Lincoln. It says, "Most people are about as happy as they make up their mind to be." And that it's so true. That really just like dug it deep for me because it's so true. You can choose to be 10% happy today and then tomorrow be 90%. He actually brings up a subject that our happiness is, I don't want to say determined. You'll have to go watch it. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but he brings up genetics. That some people just wake up happy and some people wake up miserable. You know, if you're into science, you can look into that. But I'm gonna let y'all come with me with that kind of information, because I'm like, oh, that's interesting, but not interesting enough to look into. We can choose to be happier. He talks about what happiness is. Sometimes what we see, what doesn't make us happy. Let's try that again. Sometimes we see what doesn't make us happy so we can appreciate the happy moments. And really, a combination of our spirituality, our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health has a lot to do with the extent of our happiness. He also says happiness doesn't have a final destination. You don't just get really happy and you just, that's it, I tap out, I'm good on happiness. Like, no, we want to keep moving forward and keep pushing and creating more happiness, because like I said, everything that goes around comes around. And he compared it to like losing weight. You have to change certain habits in order to fit a healthier lifestyle, and it's the same thing with your spiritual health and happiness. Is we have to change certain habits to be able to fulfill that role of happiness. So some people enjoy being miserable, and that sucks for them, but we only control ourselves. So I hope that what I put out there for you guys helps you guys and gives you guys some idea on how to move forward and how to be happy. Going back to quietness and submission, quietness is really just being with yourself in that moment and finding ways on taking care of you. And that's really just accepting your reality and stepping back and doing what you have to do to have a better moment. So if you are having a bad day, if you can realize that you're having a bad day and all this crappy stuff happened, then step back, go to your closet. I have a crap ton of songs here that I'm about to tell you guys about that you can go listen to and just give yourself those 4 or 5 minutes of that song and recoup and go back and turn your day around. I have Alive by Sia. I do listen to 2 Christian rappers, Tosh and V.Rose. They both sing Stronger, which is a great song. Paloma Faith. Her music's very unique. Just Be, if you listen to it, you'll be like, this is kind of contradicting. Like, she's not, this is not, making me feel better. But if you listen to it as, like, you're singing that to yourself or to God, I did that today, and I'm like, okay, like, I just love that song in general. It could be about love or your lover or whatever, but I thought that was a good song. Breathin by Ariana Grande. I love that song. And another way to really just center yourself, if you are religious and you pray, go and pray. Go pray 5 seconds, 5 minutes, just recoup, meditate, breathe, learn some breathing techniques. I know some of y'all like to breathe and know that little lifestyle. Do some yoga. There's a bunch of things. Go get a massage. Go get some Reiki. Go get some energy work. There's a lot of things that you can do for you to get back to that center place and balance. I also want to talk about spirit science. Spirit Science is actually a YouTube channel. Go look it up. I will link it down below. I'm going to link all the songs, the lyrics, a video with lyrics of the songs. The song in my intro is by Eddie, who's my work sister's husband. Well, she's just my sister now because I don't work. But he sings that song. I think it's a great song, and you're doing a good job, Eddie. So thank you for letting me use that, because I'm like, I need some music on my channel. So thank you. Spirit Science. Again, I'm more spiritual. I have opened my horizon to different religions. Buddhism. I've read books by a Jew. I still have Catholicism in my blood. I do what I can with what benefits me from Catholicism, and I still use it to this day. There's a bunch of things that I just soak in what I know will benefit me, and I move forward. And in the service that I watched from Unity of Phoenix, he brings up Shakespeare. Nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So again, like, I have like dug my feet into a lot of different things, and I really would consider myself more spiritual than religious. So Spirit Science goes into the vision of the future, going into your thoughts and how your thoughts really, really, really contribute to your emotions. Just because you're feeling an emotion has come to you doesn't mean you have to feel according to that emotion. I did a class on heartbreaks. Heartbreaks are real. I know that they are. And one of the questions on the test was, what comes first, feelings or emotions? And you would think feelings come and they give you emotions, but it's actually the emotions that cause a feeling. Just because you're sad doesn't mean you have to feel sad. You can choose to be aware of that sadness and aware where it's coming from and choose to move forward. And so I think that also has to do with feeding on the negativity. I realized watching that service and watching the 2 episodes in Spirit Science about thoughts and the vision for the future. You guys, I'll link it down below and you guys can watch it. It's really fun stuff. Matter of fact, as soon as I bring the kiddos over here, they're watching Spirit Science because it's animated and it's very fun to watch. Feeding onto negativity, I realized that I was bringing up my niece in the past version of my niece, what she was, and she's dead, like the negative parts of her. And ever since she has passed, we actually were able to get her journal. We found her journal, we saved it, and in one of her pages there was a quote. It said, "Life is not as complicated as you think. Keep it simple, stupid." And ever since I read that and she passed, and I realized life is what you make it, and it could literally be simple. We don't need to make it complicated. It's already, I mean, the world all around us is already as complicated as people make it, and we don't have to keep pushing forward, making it even more complicated. So for me personally, moving forward, I appreciate the situation that I'm in, because I'm going to have the liberty to use my time how I want and not have people in my ear telling me what I can and cannot do and how I can utilize my time. I know that we all have to make a living, and we work, and guaranteed if you could get paid and not have to work, you wouldn't work. Especially like in what I was doing, I was stressed out. I was in the healthcare. It just was a hot mess. And I don't know how they're surviving without me, but that's none of my business. And it's a blessing in disguise, the situation that I'm in, because I want to stay true to what I know. And this, you know, doing yesterday's video and doing today's video has made me realize, like, I'm going in the right direction. And I just can't wait to go get the kiddos so they can enjoy the new home and be a part of my videos. I'm really contemplating doing pranks on them, but that's kind of mean. I don't want y'all to be like calling CPS on me and shit. I think that's it, man. I want my spiritual videos to be really helpful to you guys, so you guys can understand that it's not hard. Using other things outside of your religion to help you be centered and balanced. Again, I still use stuff I've learned in Catholicism. I still respect it. I have gone to masses for, you know, in a Catholic church, and I respect it. I totally respect it. And I also have my spiritual side, and I've learned Eastern medicine that's really helped me. Okay. Somebody got towed. Cool. Anyway, just want to point out the fact that everything good can be great and everything bad can be good. So just go with the flow. Be in the moment. I really want you guys to go watch the service, because he talks about being alive and feeling alive. And it really, really stuck with me, because we can be alive but not actually live. Be living. And the difference between that and feeling alive is being in the moment, like I said, and choosing to enjoy what's going on in front of you and doing what you have to do to keep having the good feelings. I learned once really quickly at a leadership convention, thinking your brain like it's a bucket filled of negative shit, and you have a hose labeled positive shit, and if you put the hose in the bucket, it'll eventually start overflowing, and it will overflow all of the nasty stuff and only be filled with positive stuff. But you have to want to be able to make that step and push forward and make it the best life that you can possibly live and feel alive. And yeah, I'm gonna try to get better at making these videos short. I had a friend this morning tell me, a little feedback, your videos are kind of long, so I'm sorry. But those of you who watch it in one sitting, I appreciate you. I really do. And I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys like what I had to say. And hit the like button if you want to know more. On Spiritual Sundays, I might pick a word, a book, a feeling, or an experience in those 2 weeks, considering next week is going to be Sensual Sunday, and then the following week we'll go back to the Spiritual Sunday. So I'll have 2 weeks of awesome new information for you guys. Thank you again, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye now.